Well, thank you for joining me. Brand image, customer experience, customer engagement. Now, I've talked recently in some of the videos about the importance of your staff, but I've also talked about the importance of you training your staff, giving your staff the right information for them to go on. Now, just recently I've, as I say, been talking about it. A friend of mine in America said, and we do something similar. It's called job shadowing. So I said, please tell me more. Haven't heard this so much in the UK. And they said, well, it's a bit like your apprenticeship schemes. You put your young mechanic with a more experienced manner and he does on-the-job training, hands-on, getting his hands dirty. But we do slightly different here in America. So I said, please tell me more. Somebody comes in and normally it's a 3-month trial period. I said, I get that. And they said what they do is they shadow that person exactly as it says. They go to meetings, they go to the lunch with them, they do whatever, and they listen, they adapt, and they learn everything from that person for that job, maybe for a week, and then they give them somebody else. So they are constantly shadowing. Now the bonus that he said, in America, we don't necessarily always put them with the best performers and the best team because everybody's got something to give. Everybody's got something to impart knowledge. Now, you might have a team of 5. One of them might be your top, one of them might be your bottom. But it could well be that the new person, the person shadowing, learns a little bit from each one and can then fit into that team better with a better understanding. But the thing that the Americans are quite good at is that we trust the employee that we're taking on. Now, obviously, I want to talk to my good friend Jonathan Grinzel about this because you're spending an awful lot of money taking a member of staff on, a team member. Now, to shadow them, to have them shadow, you're going to look at that, and I know it's the English way, and it kind of goes, yeah, I'm wasting money now. I've taken him on to do a job, go out there and sell, go out there and fix, go out there and repair. Whoa, 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 whoa. I am utmost in agreement with the Americans on this, that by having somebody shadow you, you can teach them everything that you know about the job, the good, the bad and the ugly. They then go to somebody else. We're born with 2 ears and 1 mouth. They then go with somebody else and they learn the good, the bad and the ugly, that person's perspective. Now, the reason we've taken this new hire on is that we've seen something in them. So I want you to understand the way you train your staff to get the best results. So by having a mentor, this shadowing, as it's called in America, job shadowing or role shadowing, they get to shadow every person in that team, which kind of makes a lot of logical sense. You're going to have somebody in, you give them a probationary period, but if you don't give them the tools, the information and the template to do the job, they're not going to be able to do it. So it comes back to you are the manager, you're the boss, you're the team owner, the team principal, I suppose. Now, one thing that I wanted to talk about, and I've mentioned on one of my others, and I'm just reaching forward here to get the magazine. Institute of Directors, one of the biggest magazines in the world. And the person on the front, Christian Horner, one of the biggest players in F1. And they are understanding his mindset. So the magazine is all about the Institute of Directors. Now, these are the best people in the world. You know, they are leaders, they are entrepreneurs, they're business owners, and they are politicians, they are Royal Bank of England, Bank of Scotland. Everybody is in this magazine about leading the business, leading England going forward and around the world. And it's about having the best team. Now, having been in motorsport, you know I have for many years, you shadow somebody, you learn, you have an apprenticeship, you go through the training, you have coaches, you have professionals that help you. When you play football, you have a defence coach, you have an attack coach, and all of these work together, you combine and you work. So I get and I understand the American philosophy of having a job shadow, somebody that's there that you're going to educate. Now, this is the most important thing. If you're educating your staff, and you're educating your new employees, then they can hit the ground running. They can understand the little quirks of your business. Now, in one of my posts just recently, I asked in some respects, do you know what you're saying? Now, the reason for this is, and I said on one of the last videos, did a little mystery shop. As I said, the business was quite good. No real problems. Yeah, I could have been nitpicky, but the business was quite good. When I actually got to talk to the business owner and said, right, these are my findings, these are my results, he said, I don't like any of that. And I was kind of like going, what's the problem then? Well, this is what I want them to do. Right, well, everybody on your shop floor has understood what you've said to be B, and they're all following B. Every single one of them was following B, but you wanted A. Now, there was a mismatch of communication. What he wanted and what he said and what was interpreted, and I've got to say, by the entire sales force, of which there was about 9 of them, plus they were all doing the same thing, but it wasn't what he wanted them to do. So there was a miscommunication. Now, in some respects, by having this job shadow that they do in America, so you're looking over your shoulder, watching your shadow, you're going to eliminate this, because the people doing the job, once they go from one person to the next person to the next person on this shadowing role, are going to understand what the job is in its entirety, the good, the bad and the ugly. So I need you to try and understand this, and it's been quite an eye-opener, and I've tried to explain it to a few people today. It might well be that job shadowing might be the new terminology for an apprenticeship, but it has to be over a period of time to get the good and the bad and the ugly about your business. Let me know. Type in the feedback. Let me know your thoughts, whether you see it as a good thing or a bad thing. Well, I'm going to carry on understanding Mr. Horner's mindset and how he runs in theory, and it says on the bottom of the book, if you've got any of this, it's the director inside the mind of an F1 boss. The team principal of Aston Martin Red Bull Racing talks about his leadership, his inspiration, business intelligence, the community and the aspirations of the team. And as he says in there, they have a year, whereas most businesses, as we know, are planning 5, 10, 15 years. They have a season. So I'm quite looking forward to understanding his mindset. Chat with you soon. Take care.